This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Now, the other thing that I was going to tell you guys about is I'm hearing that the NFL is going to lose a bunch of money without fans in the stands, right? And so we were hearing about baseball losing money every day, and now the NFL could lose $5.5 billion of stadium revenue without fans. This is how the story goes. The NFL would lose $5.5 billion of stadium revenue, which is the tickets, concessions, sponsors, parking, and team stores, or 38% of its total revenue based on figures of the 18 season. Mike Ozanian of Forbes reports the impact on the individual teams would vary greatly. For example, the Dallas Cowboys and the New England Patriots would lose over half their total revenue, while the Buffalo Bills, Tennessee Titans, and Cincinnati Bengals would lose less than 1/3. I'll give you the examples. Okay, well, before I do that, we were hearing about how baseball's losing millions every day that they're not playing. Okay? And it's well over $50 million a day that they're losing. Or maybe even more than 70, I think it is. So they're losing a boatload of money every single day that they're not playing. So is the NFL. My only problem about these stories is that I can't give you any sympathy. I can't tell you that I really care. Do you know why? The NFL owners have been making, look, $5.5 billion between 32 people is not a lot of money in their world. Okay? What's 5.5? Can you divide there what 5.5 billion is into 32? Huh? 5.5 billion. Okay? I don't know. Can you put that many zeros? You can? Okay. Divided by 32. It's, I think I have 156 million each. Is that what it is? See if I got it right. You're Mr. Math, not me.
Yes. 156 million.
Each. Okay, so.
Only.
Okay, but for NFL owners, you've been making millions and millions and hundreds of millions for years now. So 1 year that you lose your ass for 1 year, I don't feel sorry for you. I just don't. You're still going to get your TV money, and that'll pay for a lot of what you need. You're not really going to lose a ton. And then when I hear baseball is losing money, well, baseball, you've done it to yourself over the years with all kinds of scandals, all kinds of problems. Your sport doesn't grow. You don't connect with younger fans. Your game's gotten older, and you don't know how to actually connect with people. So you've already lost billions on your own, and now that you're losing more every day, I don't feel sorry for you. I feel sorry for the Americans that can't come back to their businesses because they don't have the money anymore. I feel sorry for Americans we have a quarter of our country's unemployed. Okay? That's who I feel sorry for. That 25% that's out of work. And then there's a whole bunch of you that may have some work still, and you've all either taken pay cuts, there's furloughs involved. I mean, it's not just fired. I feel sorry for the people that are behind months now in their rent and mortgage because most of us live month to month. So it's not like we can all hang out for a couple of months without making any money. That's where my sympathy goes. When I hear that the owners are losing $5.5 billion, it's a lot of money. But for 32 billionaires, you know what, dude? I'm not crying poor for you. I'm just not. I don't care. I'm not worried about it. I'm not losing any sleep. I feel bad for the people. You know how many people listening to us right now and watching? They're out of work right now. So there's several people that are watching this show, several people downloading the show. They don't have a damn job. That's who I feel for. Because we're all losing. Hell, Bill and I, we're not making money right now the way we were before. Why? Because a lot of businesses had to close. So we lost a lot of our sponsors. Hopefully we're going to get them all back once we're back open again and everything's going. But again, this is a pandemic that has ruined lives. And these billionaire owners, their lives aren't ruined. Do you know what this is for them? A speed bump. Do you know what it is for a lot of us? Life-changing, career-altering, depression, all kinds of just disturbing things. Divorce may come from this for some people. I mean, there's a lot of bad things that are coming from this. And billionaire owners losing a few bucks, they're not losing their entire wealth. Okay?
I saw something that if you're a billionaire in the U.S., you've made 10% of your money since the pandemic. It's almost like when the banks failed and whatnot, because everything going down and them having money to buy and,
buy low.
Yeah. They figured that billionaires are making about 10% since the pandemic started. So, you're not going to get a tear here.
Yeah, I just these stories about them losing money, I don't care, bro. I don't care that you're losing money, man. I don't care because the NFL's taking all our money for Tua jerseys and all kinds of CD Lamb and whatever, and you're all paying a lot of money for those jerseys. Oh, and did you notice how the NFL took your money for the jersey, but you're not getting it till November? Anybody notice that? Jones right here that dropped off the cigar, he bought one too. Bought a jersey. We were both looking at each other going, dude, we don't get our jerseys till November. Yet they took our money right now. Like when you order on Amazon and you order something ahead of time that's not going to be released for a couple of weeks or a month or whatever, a CD or something like that, Amazon doesn't charge you until they ship it. Right? Like when it's in process of shipping, like if you buy something that can be shipped right away, obviously you'll get charged right away. But like if it's a CD that is not going to be released for a month, I don't get charged right now. No, I get charged a month later when it gets released and they're about to ship it. They charge me. I see the charge, and then I get the CD in the mail a couple days later. That's what the NFL should have done, right? But now, hell, dude, they took our money right away. And now they sit on that money for months.
I was going to say, you should call the NFL and say, hey, I want a cut of the interest.
I mean, give me a break, dude. So listen to this. Stadium revenue, okay? Jerry Jones and that stadium, $621 million a year in stadium revenue. Is that crazy or what, dude? Okay, 621. The worst in the league is the Buffalo Bills at 104. There's a $500 million difference between the Dallas Cowboys and the Buffalo Bills in earning. $500 million. Jerry pays for that stadium every 2 years. I think it was like a $2 billion stadium. So every 4 years, I'm sorry. Every 4 years in stadium revenue alone, it repays for that building. And that's an enormous building. Okay? So number two, the New England Patriots, $315 million in stadium revenue. Bet your ass that figure is going to go way down now without no Brady. Okay? It'll be under $200 million, I bet, next year. Third place is the New York Giants, $262 million. Fourth place is Houston, $218. Fifth place is the New York Jets, which is $218. Miami, by the way, if you're asking, is at number 11 at $172 million. So New England and Miami will be closer to each other. In fact, Miami may be passing up New England in the next year or two. Because as that team gets better, the stadium revenue will get better because that stadium is going to get packed. Tua's going to sell so much, it's not even funny. So, interesting, huh? $621 million. Can you imagine if the Cowboys actually won something? Think about that. Okay, the Cowboys win nothing at all. They win zilch.
Keep it that way.
They accomplish nothing every single year. And that's why Jerry loves it, dude. Because, oh, yeah, I was in 10th place, but I was first place in profits.
Do you remember when U2 was there and brought their 360 tour? They paid $1.2 million to have the speaker, the lifted so they could get the 360 claw in.
Best stage in the history of concerts for stadiums, okay? Because obviously for arenas, it's a whole. Well, they actually have the best one also in the arena because of the board and everything that they have. But the greatest stage ever in stadium history is U2 360.
Well, hello, during Octung.
It's not even up for debate.
They remember in Octung they were talking to astronauts in outer space.
Yeah. But the 360, that was a genius stage. And, it's funny that you mentioned that because I actually was watching a 360 concert the other day just so I can check out the stage again and everything. And it is such a genius engineering because they made it so big and wide that it made people in the stadium look like they were right next to the stage, no matter almost where you were in the stadium. It was a truly amazing stage show. But anyway, again.
Do you know where they got the idea for the claw?
No.
It's LAX.
Oh,
LAX. That's
okay.
where they got the idea for it.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay. All right. I got it. All right, let's go to a little super chat. Tommy Italian 305, the daily hit, man. Thank you, Tommy Italian.
I know that, dude. Where'd you get this?
Super chats.
Oh, gnarly.
Awesome. Totally awesome. And George Albany chiming in on the super chat once again.
What?
Super chat.
No way.
Yes way. No way. Yes way.
They were fantastic.
Super chat. Thank you all out there. Alex Diaz chiming in on another super chat.
I know that, dude. Where'd you get this?
Super chat.
Oh, gnarly.
Thank you guys out there.
Guess which one NorCal likes the most?
The last one.
Spicoli, baby.
A little Spicoli action, right?
This is my brain.
Yes.
I'm so wasted.
Tommy Italian says, I love my teams win or lose, but the average fan in South Florida only spends money when teams are winning or has stars. Yeah, you got to kind of earn it. Tommy Italian, we shouldn't say that, dude. We should not say that. In fact, let me give you an example why you should not say that. What have the Dolphins won? Okay? Think about that. What have the Dolphins won in the last 10 years? You tell me. What have they won?
We got to go to Pittsburgh and get our butt kicked in a playoff game.
All right, I'm gonna walk you through something here, okay? All right, here we go. Are you ready? Let's go to 2015. All right, the Miami Dolphins. Now, I'm not going to go with average attendance because some stadiums are bigger than others, so they have more attendance than others. I'm going to go with percentage that you filled the stadium, the seats that you have to sell and what you can fill, right? Because, some of these stadiums that are really, really small, it's more about what you fill in capacity. 2015, okay, from here up, let's just check it out. Miami was 5th in the league at 102.9% capacity. You figure 100% capacity, I guess they're adding the suites and all that kind of stuff. I don't know how they go over 100, but they did, over 100. 2016, the Miami Dolphins, 100.3% of capacity. Again, over 100. So they're selling out, okay? 2017, Miami, 103.5% capacity. I mean, it's, and they used to have like a ginormous stadium, which is not good for our market. 2018, 101.2 capacity, percentage capacity. Last year, I'm pretty sure it went down because they sucked really, really bad. And they were at 97.4% capacity for that team. And this year will be over 100 now with Tua. From here on out, so believe it or not, a team that doesn't deserve 100% capacity, not 97, not 90, not 80, not 50. Okay, because the Dolphins have sucked. I mean, they're terrible. And yet somehow or another, people are still showing up to these games. And they're pretty much filling up the stadium. And I know they eliminated 15,000 seats because of the 4 screens. That makes that obviously, but that also tells you that our market wasn't really built for, that kind of a stadium. Now, if we had a great team every year, we could fill it up, of course. But you think about it, it's not like, okay, like I'll give you an example, just so I can walk you through this. In 2016, okay, Miami is at 100.3%, averaging 65,000 seats. 65,512 in a 66,000-seat stadium, okay? Now, Dallas is number 1, and they had 92,000, okay? But that's Dallas. It's completely a freakish thing. So Miami's at 66. Indy at number 2, 104%. They're at 70,293. So they have 3,700 more seats. Seattle has 70,000 than Miami. Philadelphia, 71,000. San Francisco's new stadium, 67,726, right around Miami's. Arizona, 69,107, about 2,500 more than Miami. Houston's number 7, 68,684, just 2,000 more than Miami. Denver is right ahead of Miami. Did you know that Denver has a smaller stadium than Miami? 64,968 to Miami 66,000. And Denver was at 100.9 to Miami's 100.3. And Denver has fanatical fans. So I just want you to, I want to show you that most of the stadiums are right around the 60s. Okay? New Orleans 69,520, Baltimore 70.6, Carolina 69, Minnesota 68, Pittsburgh 68.8, only 2,000 more than Miami. So it's not like these stadiums are much bigger than Miami. So when Miami had the extra 15,000 seats, it shows you that they were completely out of whack. And it shows you that the NFL likes it somewhere in the mid-60s to 70. Right around there is where they want you to have your stadium. Jerry's a completely, Jerry's world is a whole different ballgame. So, it's one of those where you got to look at it and you say, okay, the stadiums are a little different. You know what I mean? And if Miami was great, they could probably add 30,000 more. You know how we are here. But what I'm saying is they didn't make the stadium smaller because everybody else is having the same ginormous stadiums. No. Miami went to about what the average is everywhere else. Okay? And still to that point, considering that they suck, a lot of people show up to those games, man. It's crazy that you would think. I would never imagine that in this town. I know this, I've known this for a while, But over the weekend on the Sirius show, if any of you were hearing it, I had a guy also, well, nobody shows up to Miami, the Dolphin games. I'm like, do you know anything about the Dolphins? He's like, no, yeah. And I'm like, well, they you know that they're at one of the better capacities. Oh, and I'll get out of here. And then I read the stats. And then you know what the guy said to me? Well, all those stats are lies. So it's just, the argument. In today's society, people are dead set in their arguments and their discussions. And when you give them the other point of view, they don't care, even if there's facts involved. They don't care. It's like, okay, nah, that's a lie. Okay, but these are the official attendance stats for every team. Why would it be a lie for Miami?
But he's taking a cue from Trump.
Yeah, whatever. Just create your own lies. A museum.
There's a billion people, at my presidential inaugural.
Yeah. A museum recently bought one of U2's claws. I got to tour the stage before a show. Great design. They had 3 sets of claws. One for the day show, one for the previous show, and one for the next date. Wow. Did not know that. You figure I figured they would have 2. I didn't know they had 3. That's a nice nugget there. I did not know they had 3. I thought they had 2 because you set one stage and then you got the crew working on the next concert. And then when you're turning down, you're going to the one that follows the next one. And so I thought it was 2 sets. I didn't know it was 3 sets. Wow.
When they were in Canada, in Montreal or Toronto, they were at like the fairgrounds for the county, whatever.
Right.
And they paid like $2.8 million or something to have them redo the walls and all this stuff.
Right.
Just so they could get the claw. And it was like, man, they're paying 1.2 to move speakers. They're paying $2-something million to hey, so we could get the strike. Like, how much money are these guys making?
Yeah, Richard says Dolphin season ticket base over 50,000, so you can't say they don't have a base. No, I mean, that's the biggest misconception out there. Oh, Miami's a terrible sports town. Meanwhile, the basketball team is constantly selling out the Heat. I think basketball didn't sell out this year, but they had like 3 straight sellout years. Their team took a couple steps back the last couple of years, so I can kind of understand. The hockey team gets half the place full because they haven't gotten over the top yet for many years. And the baseball team has never tried to win, really. And so that's why those have problems. But if you look at all the other things, actually get good attendance. And if the baseball team, if Jeter and Sherman commit, they will get good crowds there. We can become a baseball town. But you can't expect people to go to a crappy restaurant, and they're not going to go see a crappy baseball team. And they're not going to go see a crappy hockey team every year either. You got to make the playoffs, dude. You got to start proving to people. The owners have committed in hockey. They just have now what we've noticed is they have the wrong general manager. Now the owners are going to have to find another general manager. Unfortunately, it won't be this offseason, I don't think. That's the sad part. It won't be this offseason.